Look at this. Wait till you see the headlines coming out about $2,000 stimulus checks from budget surplus funds. Now, if you think I'm just talking about a state level, you're going to want to stick around for this one because you will not believe literally hundreds of billions of dollars left over in federal funds that could go out to everybody in the nation meant for stimulus. That's right. The previous stimulus packages of the past, they did not use all the money. There's literally hundreds of billions just sitting there. And if you're wondering, is there enough to send out a fourth federal level stimulus check of $2,000 to everyone in the nation? I'm just going to let you know right now the answer is yes. There is still leftover funds. Now, also though, I'm going to be sharing with you states where they're considering this as well because they have surplus funds. They have surplus sitting there, tons, literally tens of billions of dollars. We're going to be talking about Texas, Florida, California. I'm going to get into all the details. And also, I've got video footage for you that just came out this week from Governor Tom Wolf of Pennsylvania saying, send out the money. $2,000 checks. Now let me know, do you agree, disagree? We're concerned about inflation right now, and he's saying this is extra money. It's not going to cause inflation. We're concerned about a recession coming up next year in 2023, and they're saying send out the help. Now let me know your thoughts, but let's go ahead and take a look at some video footage before we dive into the details of what he actually had to say so you can see it for yourself. I'm going to link all of these articles in the description. As you guys know, I cite all the sources, put them on the screen, read right from them, and if you appreciate that, before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Smash the like button and subscribe to stay up to date. If you want to keep up to speed on everything, I'll let you know. But now let's take a look at what Governor Tom Wolf had to say about $2,000 stimulus checks in the state. And then we're going to be talking about federal level checks and surplus funds. Let's go ahead and take a look.
He also wishes he could have gotten Pennsylvanians who make less than 80 grand $2,000 stimulus checks. He said it wasn't for lack of trying, but Republicans weren't budging.
The money would have come from federal funds. It was free money. And just send it out. And the opposing party did not want to do that. So then after the budget was passed and we had all this money, I said, here's another opportunity. Instead of using federal money, okay, let's use state money. We have plenty. It's not like we're going to have to raise anybody's taxes. Right now with inflation, $2,000 would actually be a really nice help. I don't know why I couldn't get that done.
So there you have it. He said, we don't have to use the federal funds. We could use surplus state funds. Now, like I said, I'm going to be covering for you a couple states and where we're at on a federal level. But first, take a look at this article linked down below. Just came out on the 18th, 4 days ago. It says Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf talks about his efforts to send out $2,000 stimulus checks. Now, Tom Wolf is wrapping up his tenure as Pennsylvania's governor after 2 terms and 8 years, marked by COVID shutdowns, election security questions, and a massive budget surplus. Now, amid the COVID-19 pandemic was the question of whether Pennsylvanians would be able to send out $2,000 stimulus checks directly to Pennsylvania's residents. Now, it came amid the federal government's popular stimulus check program that many said helped keep them in their homes and put food on their tables when the economy was shut down and workers were laid off. Now, despite multiple efforts and public campaigns, Pennsylvania never got the state-funded $2,000 stimulus checks that Wolf pushed for as a part of the $1.7 billion Pennsylvania Opportunity Plan. Now, in a wide-ranging interview with several different groups, Wolf recounted the effort to send stimulus checks to residents amid a budget surplus and influx of federal money. And you just heard him say, the money would have come from federal funds. It was free money for the state just to send out, and Republicans did not want to do that. But then after the budget passed and we had all this money, I said, here's another opportunity. Instead of using federal money, let's use the state money. We had plenty of it. It's not like we would have had to raise anybody's taxes. And in Wolf's plan, Pennsylvania households with an income of $80,000 or less would have received a $2,000 direct payment, aka a state stimulus check. Wolf said with residents facing inflation at the grocery store and the gas pump, $2,000 would have been really nice, and I don't know why we couldn't get that done. Let me know your thoughts, you guys. Should they be using these surplus funds to send out to help out the American people? I know a lot of people have been upset about the spending we're hearing that's going out to other nations, and they're saying we're using all this spending, it's going to hit us with inflation, we're sending it out, but what about the people here in the United States? Let me know your thoughts, you guys. We'll take a look. Here's some other states with some pretty incredible surplus funds right now. We have Texas. Texas lawmakers have a $27 billion surplus, and they're trying to decide how they're going to be using it. Should the state of Texas send out stimulus checks, address some other issues coming up? Let me know your thoughts, but there's $27 billion for the state. Also, Florida posts a $21.8 billion budget surplus according to state records. And as you know, they use some of that to send out child tax credits. So states are tapping into these funds to help out their residents. And another one that might surprise you, take a look at this, $24 billion projected budget deficit may test California's resolve to grow safety net amid the recession. As you know, California has been very well known for sending out stimulus checks throughout the course of the pandemic. I have a record of over 25 different checks throughout the state on state, city, and county levels, all at my website, www.reliefroadmap.com. They've sent out the Golden State stimulus checks. They've sent out the middle class tax rebates just recently, and we're hearing that's probably going to be coming to an end here very soon on a state level, as they are now running a deficit unless things change for them very soon. Let me know your thoughts, you guys, but it looks like California, they no longer have that massive surplus that they once had. Let's talk about on a federal level. Now, take a look, you guys. This is linked in the description below if you'd like to check it out for yourself. This is a Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. This is the COVID money tracker. So all of the money that has been dispersed throughout the course of the pandemic, meant to help us through this state of emergency, they're tracking all of the funds. And you can see here they've got the different levels. They have administrative actions. $1 trillion has been allocated, but of that actually sent out is $800 billion, which means there remains $200 billion. Now, the one that we need to pay attention to is the orange bar that says legislative action. And you can see here, this is from stimulus packages of the past that have already gone through. There has been $6 trillion of approved spending. Now, of that, we have used $5.5 trillion, which means there literally remains $500 billion from previous stimulus packages just sitting there unused, untouched, literally meant to help us with stimulus provisions to get through this pandemic. And it's just sitting there. And people are saying we could tap into those funds. If Congress could agree, it will not add to inflation or debt because it's already just money that was set aside that's just sitting there, $500 billion. And that is literally enough to send out a $2,000 stimulus check to everybody in the nation. Now, let me know your thoughts. Should they do that? Should they use these funds to help out with Social Security benefits? What about child tax credits? All the stimulus provisions we've been promised, there's still money sitting there, budgeted to help us out. Now, also, Federal Reserve actions are taken into consideration here. And if we scroll down, you can actually see an allocation, the amounts that have been set aside for each of these. And here we have direct payments, and you can see the 3 stimulus checks and how much they were. The third stimulus check of $1,400 was roughly $400 billion. The first stimulus check of $1,200 was roughly $276 billion of spending that went out. And the second stimulus check, the smallest one of $600, well, that was roughly $140 billion. And so they're saying if we sent out a $2,000 stimulus check, it would roughly cost about $500 billion. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, you guys. Should they be using that to send out federal level checks with these surplus excess funds to help out people while we're still wrapping up this pandemic and also entering into a recession in 2023? And again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But if you want to know about stimulus checks going out right now on state levels, city, county levels that a lot of people don't even realize are taking place, and in some cases you have to apply. You got to know about these. Be sure to check out this video right here as I cover it in detail. Christmas stimulus checks going out right now in the month of December. I cover all the details for you. I cite all the sources, have them linked in the description. Check it out right after this one if you're interested, and I will be sure to keep you guys up to date here on the channel. And if you appreciate that and you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, smash the like button, subscribe to stay up to date, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.